Yo, yo, happy Thursday morning to you, fellas. Hopefully you're doing well. I really hope your morning's off to a good little start. Appreciate you guys getting set on with me here. We get to talk our sports and talk our sports betting as well. Obviously, weren't with you guys for the past week or so, so not only do we have a big show on tap, but we've got a lot to obviously get on into and have ourselves a good little bit of a time. Obviously, wasn't with you guys, so obviously, it was as I tweeted, it was a family emergency, and while I'd love to sit here and return, just you guys were obviously reaching out and giving me a lot of support, and our family could feel that, and we're obviously greatly and appreciative of that. I'd love to sit here and say say what it is, but quite frankly, it involves kids, so. Because it involves kids, we'll keep that keep that personal and keep that private. It was a brutal, tough situation. One that we're not fully out of the woods on, but I think getting back to normal and getting back to our normal and our daily routine, I think will help all four members of this household. So. Maybe there will be a time, down the road where, I feel comfortable talking about it, but that's not the time right now. But I do want to let you guys know that, your messages were read, and I even read them, to my wife and was like, hey, my friends, my family here at Winning Bets is behind us, and, they got our back. And like I said, we felt that support and we greatly appreciate it. So, back at it with you guys, though. Looking forward to talking some sports, hanging out with you guys. Obviously, back in the saddle every day and hanging out, like I said, talking our sports and talking our sports betting as well. So let's get on into the recap. We got to do a couple of recaps, and I think that'll be fun. We haven't even talked about the Super Bowl yet, right? Super Bowl 58, 49ers Chiefs. We haven't even had a chance to go ahead and talk about that and talk about all the bets that you guys sitting there and won as well. So I'll throw up that recap from last week, and because it has now been a week since we've been able to hang out, so this recap is pretty old, so we won't really talk about anything. The main things to see right there is our 2-week winning streak. That was snapped last week. Lost a little bit under 1 unit, as you can see right there. So a little bit of a minor setback on clawing back in 2024 and getting to a point in which we can be positive on the season. And then obviously arbitrage year to date. We just have a really good time tracking that. As you can see, we crossed over $200 last week as well. So feel good about that. Yeah, the main thing here, Charles, normally we would go through the wins and the losses and talk about them. I want to talk about the Super Bowl, though, and kind of get y'all's thoughts. I look forward to getting into that comment section and knowing what you guys thought about that Super Bowl. A good Super Bowl, obviously one that, started off a little bit low scoring. Obviously, turnovers contributed to that, even the one there on the first, opening drive there by the 49ers, but it always remained a close. It always was a super competitive game. So while it may have been low scoring to start off, I was fully entertained. Overtime though. What did you guys think about the overtime? Would you have taken the ball first, or would you have looked to kick and maybe let the Chiefs get the ball first? I fall on the side of I don't want the ball first. Obviously with the new rules. You know the rules, right? I know the rules. How the hell do the 49ers players not know the rules to overtime? I mean, it's not a completely different set of rules, but different than how you play the game in the regular season when it comes to overtime. So I thought that was a blunder, obviously, right off the start. How the 49ers players, you gotta practice that. You gotta talk about it at a team meeting. But in terms of getting the ball first or second, I'd rather get the ball second because obviously what needs to be done. You can say, well, the advantage is to go first and maybe put the pressure on the second team. But your play calling is dramatically different if you're the second team because now I know I get 4 downs to get a first down. I can strategize my play calling. I can waste a down and maybe, even take a deep shot if I want, if I think the opportunity's there because I don't have 3 downs to get a first down like the 49ers do. And if they get in a situation where they have the decision of go for it on 4th down or punt, they can punt, maybe rely on their defense. Chiefs, a lot of different ways that they can attack how to get 10 yards, to get a first down when they get 4 downs as opposed to 3. Shanahan really wants to lean on, well, if both of us scored, we're going to get the ball first and sudden death. But if you aren't able to get a touchdown and you got, the greatest quarterback, in today's game right now, obviously not the greatest ever. We all know that's Tom Brady. I don't want him being like, we go get a touchdown, we're going to win this game, boys. Like, I don't want to be in that scenario with that. I'd rather get the ball second and, dictate, what comes next. So thought that was a little bit of a blunder of a game. Obviously, you can see there on the notable wins, though, we backed into our both teams to score 20 points. That was the only bet I had in the Super Bowl in terms of one I put units on. Obviously, we had some free rolls, but that was the only one I felt comfortable to put some actual money on. I thought that missed extra point was going to hurt us because you could kind of track a path to it maybe being 20-20 to go overtime, and then it gets to 19-19 and goes to overtime. You're obviously sweating, right? You're sweating your ass off. If both these teams are going to get to 20 points, obviously we all know that eventually gets there and we get a good cash. So that was my only cash of the day, which is, just fine. That's my unit play. Swung and miss on the free rolls right there. Was anybody holding on to a Jawan Jennings MVP? Because the 49ers win that game. That's the MVP, right? That's the MVP. A lot of controversy, though, in that. I know Brian shared a thing on Twitter where, he had bet on McCaffrey to be the Super Bowl MVP because there was a promo with the insurance. Some of these sports books, ESPN Bet doesn't want to say McCaffrey scored a touchdown. Like, Brian didn't get his MVP insurance. Like, what BS is that? That kind of shit that would make me never use that book. I mean, McCaffrey gets a touchdown. I don't give a shit who throws it. I don't care who throws McCaffrey a touchdown. The dude caught it and then ran his way into the end zone. Like, that's a touchdown. So, Brian, I feel your pain on that one, man. I'm still trying to convince DraftKings to, grade my Kevin De Bruyne ticket that I shared on Twitter yesterday a winning bet. So these books shouldn't be able to get away with that. That's criminal that they got away with, or they're getting away with it at this current setting. Hopefully they do the right thing to you. But good Super Bowl though. What about the only worst part was clearly that halftime, right? Anybody enjoy the halftime there with Usher and gang coming out there? Not the greatest halftime show, if I didn't thoroughly enjoy it. It was not one that I was thoroughly enjoyed, but overall, good Super Bowl. That's what matters most, right? How was the game? I thought the game was really good and entertaining throughout the whole thing, and we even got some free football at the end with it going to overtime. So, yeah, good Super Bowl right there. So that's basically how last week unfolded. Let's go ahead and roll through it before we get to the comment sections. Let's catch up on these 3 days. How about Chelsea on the team total on Monday to give us a sweet win to go ahead and start the week? That one was sweaty. I remember watching that game on Monday, and it was like, minute 40, maybe minute 42. It was like approaching halftime, and I was like, I don't think I've seen a Chelsea shot. Not a Chelsea shot on goal. Like, I don't even think I've seen a Chelsea shot. So then I pull my phone out, and I look at the stats. It's like, yeah, I haven't even seen a shot. They did get one just at the stroke of halftime. Conor Gallagher, was that a shot or was that a pass? And it was just nobody got on the end of it as the ball rolled through the box. So he'll say it was a pass, and he'll say, hey, my teammates weren't there to run on it. They actually counted that as a shot, but dreadful first half. And I think it all comes down to Madueke. And I think I'm going to stop backing Chelsea pregame. I don't know. Pochettino wants to keep rolling out Madueke. I've seen enough of him. And Monday was just the icing on the cake. That guy's awful. He's not Premier League caliber player. And there's a reason why they struggled all first half. He gets subbed off at halftime, and Kunku comes in and they score, in the first 2 minutes or whatever it was in the second half. Not going to back in Chelsea pregame because I just can't trust Pochettino to roll out a lineup that is, in my liking as well. So either way, though, Chelsea comes through there in the second half. In the end, score-wise, 3-1. Looked more like what I would have predicted if we sat here on Monday. I would have gone 2-1, 3-1, Chelsea comfortable-ish win. So, all right, Chelsea kicks off the week, gives us a good little win right there. We roll that on a Tuesday in the Champions League. Manchester City to score in both halves. I sent out a little sarcastic tweet that was an easy hit. That was anything but easy. We got the early goal there in the first half. You even love Copenhagen getting an equalizer there, and I'm hoping it gets the halftime 1-1, but Bernardo with a nice little flick, he makes it 2-1 at halftime, but I still thought and knew that City was going to be aggressive, and obviously they're not going to give the ball away by any stretch. That's not how their style of play is. So you still felt good going into that second half, for sure. But as the minutes just keep ticking off and there's no goal and the chances weren't as good in the first half. First half, they had phenomenal. They could have ran up that score in the first half. Obviously, they didn't. And then they get the goal. Late, Phil Foden just tucks one in there late, injury time. So anything but easy. But in the end, we get the result that we get right there. We do get tripped up there. Leipzig versus Real Madrid over 2.5. Hell, could have had an opening goal there in the first half, but Leipzig was caught offside. Not the player that was involved in the goal, but they're saying the player that was offsides because he was directly behind the keeper, he impacted the keeper's ability to move around and maybe block that shot. I don't really have a disagreement with that. I hear that, but I think Real Madrid's a little bit lucky to get out of Germany with the win. I thought Leipzig was really stinking impressive. I thought losing that bet was a little hard and done. You gotta give Leipzig credit. They looked awfully good. Now, I don't think you make that same bet, though, when you go back to the Bernabeu, because we know how really good Real Madrid is at home, the Champions League. So that was Leipzig's chance. Great-ass performance. I just couldn't, unfortunately, get anything out of that. And obviously now I fully expect them to bow out. It's going to be hard to replicate that thing on the road, but a little bit of a tough one right there for us. We roll that on in what happened yesterday. Bayern on the money line. It just came down to not even not being clinical enough, just not being sharp. 17 shots, 0 hit the target, 17 shots. I always felt like a goal was coming because Bayern was getting in fantastic positions. Kimmich almost curled one in on the first half. Harry Kane is in the 6-yard box in the first. He's in the 6-yard box in the first half, relatively in the middle of the goal, and somehow he skies it over the crossbar. He went like this after he did it. It's the same shit I did, Harry Kane. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is that how you're going trophyless your entire goddamn career? You're in the 6-yard box in the middle, and somehow you sky that shit all the way over the crossbar. Oh, man. Bayern, I've kind of read some stuff and kind of heard people saying Bayern, looked bad, terrible performance. They were in great positions to score goals. It just, for whatever reason, they weren't even hitting the goddamn targets. I actually thought Bayern was okay. Created 17 shots and with a handful of them, really, really stinking good opportunities. But yeah, Bayern at the end, Thomas Tuchel, he's going to get his ass sacked, right? Because they get thumped in the weekend against Leverkusen 3-0. They've already exited the Pokal. Lazio, they're going to go to Munich and just sit their ass and defend that one goal. It's going to be tough. You fancy them to be a little bit sharper, for sure, but Lazio did what they needed to do. So credit Lazio. Getting a goal there on the penalty. Obviously, Immobile is going to smash that every damn time. So, I thought Lazio still gets lucky. Obviously, not only did we have the money line, we also had the over 1.5. But, Bayern in my mind should have had that. Absolutely should have had that. So that's where we sit after the week. Let's hop on into the comment section. It's been a long time since I've hung out with my friends. Been about a week or so since I've hung out with my friends. So let's see what you guys are up to there, boys. Morning, Brian. Morning, Fish. Good morning, my man. Appreciate you, Brian. Appreciate you. And I think I replied to all the messages. Hopefully I didn't miss one from anybody. Like I said, I even read them to my wife. Felt your support, fellas. Those messages mean a lot when you're down and the days don't look bright. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. What's going on? My man. What's going on, my man? Has anyone seen the first down that they gave the Chiefs that they didn't get? Owens was short when he went out of bounds in overtime. Are you talking about that scramble that was on the what would have been on the far side of the field? I think I remember this scramble. I thought he got it, but obviously I haven't seen I haven't really seen a replay, but I think that's the run. Scripted, right, Brian? Scripted. The Chiefs were always going to win that goddamn game. I thought they had and obviously I didn't bet it, and I can say this because I gave out one bet and hell, the one bet hit, so nobody can really be mad at me, but the wrong team was favored in that game. Are you kidding me? Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes, that's a mismatch, and we know it's a quarterback-driven league. The play was obviously Chiefs money line. Again, I won my one and only bet, so I'm not mad, but wrong team was favoring that. Wrong team was favoring that. I don't know, Brian. I don't know how the Niners players don't know the rules. I don't know how they don't know it. I agree. I want the ball second. I want to know, but more than not like I want to know what I need to do. I get 4 downs to do it in. I get 4 downs to do the same shit you're going to get 3 downs to do it in. I get an extra down. I didn't like that, Shanahan. I don't like that. You didn't bet the coin toss on both sides. Easiest bet. No, I did not. I did not. Oh yeah, somebody told me because I think the way it was over on ESPN Bet, I think because of the odds you could have done that and gotten some, but I didn't do it, man. Take that free cash, bro. You know I'm all about that. Yeah, I don't know how you're still using that platform, Brian. If you are, that McCaffrey, them ruling he didn't score a touchdown, that's criminal, Brian. Criminal. Oh, it was $365. I think it was also an ESPN Bet. But yeah, that's great, man. Take that free money. Morning, Tim. Morning, my guy. What's up, man? What's going on? I got a play coming up for that, Brian. I got a play. Also, BetMGM has an MGM risk-free same-game parlay. This time we didn't put both eggs in one basket. We got a game, obviously, on FanDuel. What was it? Bucks, Grizzlies. And then I chose on MGM, Blazers. Who the hell are Blazers playing? Timberwolves. So got that coming up here. Day 2 on 500 just around the corner. Yeah, I was actually gutted. I was due to our family emergency. Obviously, William and I didn't hook up. I haven't been able to do a damn thing. Barely been sleeping for what seemed like, I don't know, was it a week? Yeah, barely sleeping. Just been rough, obviously. Really gutted. William and I couldn't do the preview, but we'll be back at it. It's going to be, I haven't even really looked. I did catch a little bit of the coverage last night with the qualifying and what have you, and credit Logano, man. Logano's beast on super speedways, and obviously Michael McDowell, he's been beast on road course and speedways in his own right. So Ford's on the front row. All right, Ford, let's see it. Toyota, disappointing last night, but Toyota, outside of really Hamlin, they don't have like a super speedway guy that jumps out like Hamlin. Okay, legit, but yeah. It's going to be interesting. I look forward to it, Brian. It's back, baby. It's back. I'm still waiting for baseball back. The volume will be slow because I'm not doing basketball, not doing hockey, but I'm really looking forward to baseball cranking up to where we can just roll these bets out. What'd you do, man? Byron screwed your parlay. You had it over 2.5. They should have bagged goals, man. I hear you. I got screwed right there with you. 17 shots, not one on target. Not one on target. Not one. And how does Harry Kane miss within the 6-yard box? Oh man, you had Harry Kane over 2.5 shots on target. Yeah, I don't know how he didn't get that one. I don't know how the hell he didn't get that one, man. You just read Messi to start in the friendly. All right, he's back. He's healthy. Don't tell that to was it China or what was that country he screwed on the friendly? Can't remember. I think it was China. Hey, don't tell that to China. They are quite pissed at Messi in Miami right now. You agree the 49ers needed to kick at no take. Yeah, I agree, man. I just okay, if that's your strategy, tell the effing players. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want the big time moment my players be learning about our strategy on the fly with the 2 minutes in between regulation ending, coin toss, and overtime. I don't want my players being like, what are we doing, coach? What the hell's about to go? And I want my guys to be prepared. How the hell were 49ers favored in that game? Still don't understand it. Wrong team favored. What's up, Lee? What's up, man? Whenever DK has the 3-day promo, bet on Curry. I hear you, man. You might as well. I haven't used that promo yet, the 3s and to get a free bet, but might as well, man. Might as well. I do see that they I could just look up real quick. Not that, I mean, you sound like you're hell-bent on doing Curry, and I hear you. I'm just curious how many three-pointers the Jazz allow. Are they, really stinking good? Or let me look. You got me curious. Let's see what we got here. NBA stats, teams, opponent, shooting. There it is. Opponent, three-pointers made per game. Let's see where the Jazz rank. Dead last in the NBA. They allow 14 made threes. 14.3 made three-pointers per game is dead last in the NBA. Sign me up for Curry, Lee. Sign me up for Curry. Does it get worse on the road? It's 14.7. And you're getting the Golden State at home. I'm all for you, Lee. Great play, my man. Great play. You got Rome over 3 corners and Fern over 3 goals. Yeah, we're definitely talking some soccer here in a minute, man. We are definitely talking some soccers. Both of those teams are on the back-to-back, Brian, so I think that nullifies any concerns. I mean, you always have to worry about player utilization come off back-to-back, but at least both teams are coming off of back-to-back. So, but I stayed away from that game, obviously, altogether. Let's go ahead and talk some soccer here, boys. I'm going to go ahead and roll 3 bets in Europa League. You can see I don't have any bets in the Europa Conference League. I mean, I actually looked down at the Europa Conference League and, some of these teams, I don't even know who the hell they are, to be quite honest. But let's just focus here on the Europa League while we got it right here. Let's talk about this first one, over 1.5 goals parlay. Rennes has been an absolute goal-scoring machine when they're away in European competition. So I love Rennes finding the back of the net. Milan certainly finding the back of the net at home. Thought about maybe doing, both teams to score, or, something along that angle. But obviously was settling on the over 1.5. That game feels like it could be a draw. I mean, Rennes has been tough in Europe. Rennes has been really tough in Europe on the road, so that can't be dismissed. So I bet that tie is definitely in the balance as that one heads back to France in a handful of weeks or whatever that is. Young Boys take it on Sporting. And Sporting should beat Young Boys, like maybe 2-1, 3-1. That one smells like a both teams to score and over 2.5. I do think Young Boys, at home could certainly find the back of the net. Obviously, I went with just the over 1.5 goals, and Sporting should get it done. The quality that they have in their squad is far superior, than Young Boys. So look for them to go ahead, and get it done. But I'll just back the goals. And then Lens Freiburg just should be goals. Just quite frankly, should be goals. One in which, if you're trying to, maybe put together a money line parlay or anything, I think Lens can get it done. They're really good at home. They've got one of a really good atmospheres in their home ground. I think it'll be too much for Freiburg. They've been a little dip in form if you go ahead and look up Freiburg, to be fair as well. But I still expect them to contribute to the scoreline. That's another one, much like Sporting, like a 2-1, 3-1. I think Lens is in that kind of like 2-1, 3-1 as well. That home crowd is really going to go ahead and give them a big boost today. So I'm going to do an over 1.5 goals parlay. Those 3 games plus 114, and that one's over at Caesars, as I tweeted earlier. Next play right here is just going to be a good old money line parlay. 2 teams in Portugal. We've got Benfica up against Toulouse. Toulouse gets in this competition, obviously, on the heels of what they did last year. Struggling. Relegation fight. I don't think they're going to, nobody plays to, bow out of a tournament from a player's perspective, but from a management and owner perspective, they're in a dogfight to stay, in League One this season. So, not a competition I think they're going to be taking all that serious. Benfica at home, way too much firepower for them, so they should get past a struggling Toulouse side in this one right here. And then you got Braga taking on Qarabag. Qarabag is going to hope the hell they can keep this one low scoring, but the quality of depth is just too much here, I think, in this one right here. I think Brogberg is going to be able to squeak one out. They're a really good home side. They're a side, when you look up their form, home and away, their home is really stinking good. So I'll go ahead and back them in a little money line parlay, so a little all-Portugal money line parlay. And then I'll do Feyenoord versus Roma. Give me both teams to score. Feyenoord's just been sharp. I mean, we've been betting them in the group stages. They should be bright. I actually think Feyenoord can get the win up over Roma. I think that's how much better they are themselves at home. And then Roma's also got enough quality in their squad where I think they can at least get a goal as well. That one's another one where I would go both teams scoring over 2.5 if I'm looking for a single play. Again, they give me also Feyenoord on the money line. I think they probably do squeak past Roma, just barely. It'll be a 1-goal margin. That tie will certainly be in the ballots as we head back to Rome in a couple weeks. And then Galatasaray just to bag a goal. Just even to bag a goal. They're at home against Sparta Prague. Sparta Prague is just starting to get back in the competition. They're one of these leagues that takes a winter break and just trying to jump back into it. Galatasaray should certainly get a goal, and obviously I'm doing that just to bring down the juice a little bit there on Feyenoord and Roma and give me a plus money bet as opposed to a minus 120 bet over on Caesars. So that's how we'll roll right there. We've got a bet on every game in the Europa League today except for Shakhtar taking on Marseille. Should be an over, boys. I mean, should absolutely be an over. If you look at Marseille in the group stage, they had the second most goals scored in the entire competition during the group stage. So should be an over, but the thing that scares the shit out of me is Shakhtar, this is going to be their first competitive match since December. They're one of these leagues that, has an absurdly long winter break. So there could be a lot of rust here for Shakhtar. And that's what scares me, is they're just not quite sharp, coming off essentially a 2-month layoff. And then you're also like not getting a home advantage, right? They've been playing their matches from a different venue, but at least it's been within Ukraine. So you have, domestically, like you've got, your supporters. For whatever reason, and I didn't dig too deep, this one's being played in Germany for whatever reason. So there's no home advantage here for Shakhtar. There's not going to be a big home crowd push them. This was in Germany. It's being played at Hamburg. So you've got no real home advantage. Haven't played competitive football in 2 months. I'll just go ahead and avoid that game, even though on paper, yeah, sure. Certainly looks like an over there between Shakhtar and Marseille. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stay away from that one. So that's how I'll roll today there in Europa League. Give me 2+ money bets and give me a money line parlay at -110. Let's catch and hear what you guys are going ahead and betting. And then we will see what we got. You're just doing corners for those 12:45. Okay, corners. Yeah, I hear you. So Young Boys Sporting Shakhtar. Okay. All right. Cool. Like it. Get it, my man. Good luck. Good luck. If we look at Europa Conference League, let's, talk today's of the sports. Molde versus Liga. No. Olympiacos versus that team that's from Hungary. No. Royal Union SG versus Frankfurt. No. And then you start getting the teams, I don't know, like Sturm Graz versus Slaven Bratislava. I don't know any of those goddamn teams. Ajax should be an over in that one. I mean, their matches, since they've had the managerial changes, have been going over for sure. They've also found some form. They've been able to climb up out of the domestic relegation battle, and they're comfortably now sitting mid-table. So they've certainly turned their season around. Bodo, I usually like backing Bodo at home, not as strong on the road as most teams are, but yeah, I would think Ajax wins that game and would be an over. Betis there in La Liga taking on Dynamo there. Should be Betis. I would think Betis can probably scrape out a win there at home and get the job done. But Dynamo is going to keep that one probably low scoring. You get a La Liga team in this matchup as well, so maybe a low scoring, 1-0, 2-0 win there by Betis. Maccabi versus Ghent there from the Belgian league. Yeah, you should start getting Europa Conference League. It's teams that are like who, and then this last one, Ludogorets versus Servette. Yeah, I don't even think about those teams. So I'm comfortable with the bets we've got. I'm comfortable with these teams in Europa League, teams that we at least know, watch, have a good pulse on who they are and what they do. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with these 3 bets here. Give me the over, give me the other parlay, and like I said, give me that money line parlay. So that's how we'll do it right there. Might do Jimenez there for Feyenoord, shot on target on the Feyenoord game. Yeah, he's the guy. He's going to be sold this summer. He's going to be making a move, I would expect, sometime this summer. Look forward to kind of seeing what league he goes to. We've only really watched him in Europa League, at least for me personally. He's been fun to watch. He's been fun. So that's a good angle, Adrian. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. We'll come back to that here in half a second, Brian. Or no, let's just more than tell you, rolling with Hamlin, get over 2.5 wins this season, plus money at DraftKings, and for him to win the championship this year. I think Hamlin's going to go ahead and get it done. He'll be probably in the championship 4. Can't disagree with that, Brian. Over 2.5 wins, yeah, I can't disagree with that. And if you're getting it at plus money, sure, I like it. He's definitely bagging wins. We know that, Brian. Definitely bagging wins. So plus money bet, I like it, Brian. I like it. Let's go ahead and talk some basketball right there. Let's go ahead and talk this game here between the Bucks and the Grizzlies. Of course, using $5 of our arbitrage cash on a risk-free same-game parlay. Normally we do these same-game parlays. We like to go first quarter angle, right? Like how do teams open the first quarter? You look at the stats. Bucks are better offensively. Grizzlies are a good little bit better defensively. Obviously, you get the Bucks not playing on the back-to-back, so you would think, okay, well, they're coming in fresh legs, should really come out and jump on maybe the Grizzlies on the back end of a back-to-back. But if you just there was enough like Grizzlies do it better on defense, Bucks do it on offense. I just took a peek at what was the second quarter. What do the second quarter stats look like? I get a way better offense than the Milwaukee Bucks in the second quarter, And the Bucks defense is significantly better in the second quarter as well. Not only are they better than their own numbers, they're significantly better than the Grizzlies in the second quarter when comparing their numbers in the second quarter. So it was an easy pivot for me to just avoid the first quarter, and I'll just lock onto this far superior team in the second quarter, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'll go ahead and do that. Looking at the stats from a player props perspective, Lopez should have him a hell of a game. This over 5.5 rebounds is at plus money. He should dominate. I mean, that's why I'm doing his over on his points. He should get 10 or more points. I took his straight on over on his rebounds, over 5.5 at plus money in the same game parlay. This is a game in which Lopez should have himself a really nice night up against a really small Jaren Jackson there for the Grizzlies at the center position. So I think he'll do good. And then Malik Beasley, just shooting guard, position that they can't defend worth shit. So I'll just say Beasley can knock down three-pointers tonight, and that'll give us a plus 510 parlay over there on FanDuel. On BetMGM, I mentioned we were going to go ahead and do a different game. Let's go ahead and do that Blazers versus Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert, a fantastic night for him. Obviously, these two teams just played on Tuesday night. So is it going to play out the same way, or is it going to play out a little bit of different? I, of course, I'm just going to go ahead and follow the stats. You saw, Anthony Edwards get 40 some points in that game. And the Blazers going to win this game after getting blown out 2 nights ago. They're going to have to stop him. And then if they do that, that should open up from everybody else. And then hopefully we can really start having this game play out like the stats do. And Rudy Gobert, if the stats play out, we should just have another big game. I think he got, I know he had a double-double 2 nights ago, but it was like maybe 15-15 or something. Just having a great night. So I'll take his over on his points, over on his rebounds, over on his blocks. Everything says that he should just have a fantastic night. And then give me Anthony Simmons just to have a steal, just like he did on Tuesday night. Look for him to have another steal tonight. And that'll round out that same game parlay over on BetMGM. That one loses. FanDuel loses. Of course, we'll go ahead and get a free bet back as well. All right, boys, that's how I'm going to go ahead and roll today. 3 bets there in the Europa League and a couple of free rolls tonight in the NBA to give us some fun and entertainment tonight. All right, boys, what else are you guys rolling with tonight? That's how I'm rolling today. We, between the posts this week, let me think. It was obviously supposed to be today. I haven't handicapped a goddamn thing, so definitely not doing between the posts today. Maybe I'll hit up Matt. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, it's just obviously it's been a rough week for me, and time and mentally has been elsewhere. I'm looking. I actually don't even know him play. I'm just pulling up the games now to see who's actually playing. Arsenal is playing Burnley. Well, that should be an Arsenal win. Tottenham's playing Wolves. That should be a Tottenham win. They got to get revenge the way they got screwed there at the Molyneux in this reverse fixture with Wolves getting 2 goals in injury time to snatch up that 2-1 win. Wolves actually lost Cunha too. And Cunha, there was a tweet I saw 2 days ago when or maybe it was yesterday when they announced his injury, season-ending injury, hamstring. There was a tweet, man, I got to dig that thing up. He has like the most touches in the box by a Wolves player, the most shots by a Wolves player, like everything, like most. And he's done it all this season for the Wolves in terms of their offensive productivity. So that's going to be a massive loss not having Cunha in this lineup here for the Wolves. So I like Tottenham. Wonder what a Tottenham, I'm assuming they're both going to be juicy where you're definitely not playing Arsenal alone. Wonder what a Tottenham Arsenal money line parlay is. Hey, plus money. That's probably worth price shopping. I'm also seeing it looks like Newcastle is playing Bournemouth. Newcastle had a dip in form. Definitely had a dip in form. They've kind of returned it around, right? They went to Villa a couple weeks ago. They got the win. They came back against Forest. Yeah, because we got a cash over the weekend. Both teams scored 2.5. They got, I think it was a 3-2 win. They've really turned it up. They've kind of turned it around. Obviously, Bournemouth wins this reverse fixture. Was it? I think it was 2-0. They did get that late goal. Now, Newcastle. What is the Newcastle money line? -115? -115. Man, that's a bet. It's at St. James's Park where they played phenomenally. Is there any injuries? I mean, we know Newcastle's actually getting healthier. no Isak, but Colin Wilson's back in the squad, so that's whatever. Yeah, or what? Minus 115? Yeah, I'm taking Newcastle. I'm taking Newcastle against Bournemouth. Liverpool against Brentford. That should probably be a Liverpool win, but with both teams to score. That's probably a Liverpool with both teams to score. That's probably a good plus money price for that one. But Liverpool should definitely get the win. Obviously, no Trent going to be out for a little while. Fulham against Villa. That one should be goals. What's the over 2.5 in that one? Can you just bet over? Over 2.5 is minus 165. Yeah. It's a little pricey. Forest versus West Ham. West Ham suck, and it's not just because they got beat 6-0 by Arsenal. It's because they don't have a goddamn striker. Antonio's been out forever. Antonio's been out. So hard to expect much from West Ham. And then Chelsea's taking on City. I did know that. I heard them say that the other day during the broadcast. City's taking on Chelsea. Ooh. Obviously, you're not going to get Grealish. He limped off that game. I listened to Guardiola's press conference. You're not going to get Bernardo. That's fine. I'm going to get Doku and Alvarez and all the other balling-ass players. So, whatever. I'm fine with that. What's City? Like basically minus 300? Yeah. Basically minus 300. They should roll. What's the games on Sunday? What do we got on Sunday, boys? Sheffield taking on Brighton. It's probably both teams to score. 9 over 2.5. I mean, that's just what Brighton's matches are. I mean, we know that. It should be a Brighton. It should be a both teams scoring over 2.5. What is that one? What the hell is it? Minus 115? Yeah. That's not even price shopping, but that one should be a both teams scoring over 2.5. Then Luton at home against Man United. Boy, we know how good Luton has been at home against these top teams. Arsenal, City. I think United, if I recall, this reverse fixture was 1-0. United squeaked it out. I think they squeaked it out 1-0, but United's in much better place when they were in that reverse fixture. What's the United money line? They should win that game. They've really turned it around because they're getting healthy. You're getting Casemiro back. Like that's a lot. I mean, getting their band back to it. Minus 130 on the United money line. Luton is gonna play them tough though. I mean, they've played every big club tough at home, but United should be. Is there a game on Monday? Everton's taking on Palace. Palace sucks, man. I mean, I know they got that goal against Chelsea, but they were outplayed. You know, Chelsea they were outplayed. Even though they didn't do much in that first half, they were outplayed in that game. They were outplayed. All right. Well, I'm going to hang here. If you want to lock in a bet with me, I'm locking in this Newcastle money line. I'm going to price shop. I'm going to use Odds Trader. And I'm also going to use Odds Trader on Arsenal Tottenham money line parlay. Give me a little North London parlay. Money line parlay. Give me a North London money line parlay. Newcastle, best price, minus 115. You can do that at Caesars or DraftKings. That's a bet. I'm on Newcastle money line. Minus 115, DraftKings or Caesars. And then for this Arsenal one, let's see who's got the best lines. You know Burnley's getting thumped by Arsenal. I don't give a shit. It's on the road. They went to West Ham and demolished West Ham 6-0. So where they're playing, I could give two shits less. Arsenal's significantly better. And then who's got the best price on that game? All right, let's build that. That means the best price actually should be Bet Rivers, plus 103. So we'll bet it, and I'll lock it in. That'll be the last thing I do. Feels good hanging out, fellas. Feels good getting back to normal and talking games. And yeah, I thank you guys for hanging out. Really appreciate it. I'm going to make these two official bets. And then this is why the great thing about soccer, the handicapping for soccer, I love it. Because if you watch it every week, if you look at all the stats every week like we do to get ready for Between the Posts, I like soccer because I've been playing it since I was 5. But from a betting perspective, it's not like some of these other sports like basketball. You really got to dig into that shit. Soccer's not quite like that. We actually did good last week in soccer. Matt actually pointed it out the other day when he was hitting me up. We've actually been on fire the last like 3 weeks or so in the Premier League. We've been doing really stinking well in the Premier League. Really well. Really good. So, all right, those two are official bets, boys. I'm sitting here, been buying them while we've been. So, yeah, minus 115. I can put them on the screen. I can put them on the screen. All right, get that one up here. And then give me a, what was it, plus 103? Plus 103. Tottenham, Arsenal. All right, Tottenham, Arsenal, mainline parlay. Roll with that for now, and I'll have more for tomorrow. I do think that Sheffield Brighton is definitely both teams to score over 2.5. Actually, yeah, and Brighton is not playing today, so they must have gotten first place. So yeah, you don't have to worry about any, Thursday, Sunday action with Brighton because they obviously. I didn't see them today on the Europa League schedule, so they got a first round bye. I mean, Sheffield has scored at home 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 4 of the last 5, they didn't score against Villa. Yeah, Villa's better defensively than Brighton. I mean, Brighton is, how many goals on the season has Brighton conceded? 40 to Villa's 32. Yeah, they're a lot. I mean, they're just leakier as hell. We know the stats. And when they go on the road, they've allowed 25. Man. Yeah, Brighton's games when they're on the road average 3.5 goals. They've cashed in 8 of the 12. Sheffield, when they're at home, over 2.5 is hitting 9 of the 12. Their games at home average 3.6. I got to price shop that one too. ESPN Bet, for whatever reason, seems to have the best prices. Sorry, Brian. Got to make a business decision here. You're going to use ESPN Bet? I'll lock in maybe this last one. Let's see if ESPN Bet's got it at plus money. They're great on, for whatever reason, on this market. On the both teams scoring over 2.5. Sheffield, Brighton. And then maybe that'll be it. Maybe I'll hit up Matt, see if we do both teams, see if we do, minus 105. I'm going to hit it. What did I say? DraftKings was plus. I don't even need a price shop. I know they are always the best price in this market for some reason. So let's hit it. Get logged in. All right, I'm in. Sheffield, let's do Sheffield, Brighton over 2.5. Both teams score minus 105 at EB. I'm coming in, looking to stay hot. Looking to stay hot in the Premier League. Give me that Sheffield, Brighton over 2.5 with both teams to score minus 105. And you even get Matomo back from this Brighton side. He was okay in his first game back in the Premier League, but it takes a while to get up to Premier League rhythm. I mean, even though he's a Premier League player, he went and did the Asian Cup for a month. He looked okay. He's gonna be gonna be better. He's gonna be better. They're actually looking. João Pedro's out. All right, fine. So I get Ferguson. Not bad. All right. business. I would say, gosh, dog you, ESPN Bet. I'm going to give you a pause or give you a pass, but I'm taking the better price. I'd bet it over on ESPN Bet. Take the better price for that return. All right, fellas. That's how we're rolling. What we do on tomorrow's show, obviously figure out if we've got any additional Premier League bets. We certainly will. I got Liverpool's winning for sure against Brentford. I bet that both teams to score. Liverpool money line is a pretty decent price. Money line, both teams score. Liverpool, plus 150. Yeah. Or what is Liverpool money line over 1.5? That is minus 130. Then you don't have to worry about Brentford scoring. They should score though. Let me see. They should score. I mean, Tony's bagging goals. Maupay got a goal in his last game off that goal kick. The keeper getting an assist. A rare keeper assist in soccer. I'll probably wait to bet that one. I'm gonna listen to Jurgen Klopp's press conference, see if Salah's back. Yeah. All right. I think that'll be it, boys. I don't think I'll add anything else. So, added 3 Premier League bets. I'll go through the rest of that. Yeah, we'll roll them out. Those games are for Saturday. Yeah, all 3 of those bets I just shared: Newcastle money line, Tottenham Arsenal money line, and I think Sheffield Brighton was actually Sunday. Yeah, Sheffield Brighton Sunday. Good luck, Fish. All right, boys. Let's pull the plug right there. Appreciate you guys again hanging out. Feels good. Feels good hanging out with my friends and talking some sports. So come on back tomorrow. We'll roll out the weekend slate of bets. But of course, we'll start off the show by ringing the cash register after we cash these Europa League bets. Enjoy your day, fellas. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Let's cash, boys, and good luck.